Hello everybody, in this video we're going to talk about how you can collect school fees from your students or parents in Zoey School. For a number of schools, the issue has always been at the beginning of the term the parents are paying, but generating things like receipt for the parents or even keeping track of how much has been collected, how much is being owed is usually an issue. So when a new term starts, what you do now is first and foremost you go to your finance section here. Under finance, find fees. You start by creating a fee. So for example, we're saying school fees for primary 1, because for each class of course the school fees usually varies. So how much are they paying in there? Let's say 100,000 naira. Now for some schools they allow parents to pay flexibly. I mean, given the economic condition of the country, of course you might want them to pay twice, but that doesn't mean you want them to pay too low on their first installment. So you can set the minimum payment in here at say 70%, which is 70,000 naira. Then the due date is applicable for fees that involve a time out. For example, you are taking the kids on excursion, you want the parents to make the payment for that before certain date. So if they make the payment after that date, it's no longer useful. So you can set a due date for a school fees. You are not going to set any due date on that. Then the term the payment is meant for, it's a first term in here, so I choose that. Then the classes that will be paying the fee. If you have more than one classroom, of course you will see a list of all of that in here, and you choose the appropriate classroom. Then you hit on save. Now once that is saved, you need to generate an invoice on this fee for each parent that has a child in that classroom of primary 1 in here. So to do that, you come to invoice and tap on this invoice button. So it will say, it's telling you this will create invoice on this fee for the selected student. Click on yes. Now if you want to send this invoice to only a specific set of students, you can choose the students in here. Otherwise, don't choose any student and simply hit on OK. So this will create an invoice for every student in that class of primary 1. So if I come down here to invoices, I'm going to find a list of all the invoices created in here, and you can view each of these by saying view invoice. So this is the invoice for student 1, expected to pay 100,000 naira. So they can either pay by bank transfer or MasterCard. So the bank detail of the school will be detailed in here. Then given that we have allowed them to pay in part, you also see the pay part button in here. So if they want to pay in part, they can click on pay part. Now how much do they want to pay? If I say I want to pay 80,000 naira, note that the system is telling them the payment must be greater than 70,000. So if they enter any amount less than that 70,000 here, it will not be allowed. So once I enter the 80,000 in here, I hit on OK. Now how do I want to pay? We've integrated with Paystack in here that allows the parent to use their MasterCard for the payments. Now when this payment is collected, it goes directly to the school account, not into Zoey account or SEC Innovations and Technologies. No. So you choose on Paystack and then hit on OK in here. So this is the parents trying to make the payment on the invoice. So once they make the payment is successful. So and here we have on record now they've paid 80,000 of the 100,000 to balance 20,000 naira. Also, it's possible that some parents will want to do bank transfer to the school. So once they do the bank transfer and the school confirm the reception of that, the school will have to come on the app to document that transfer manually. And to do that, the school will go to invoices, then find now this is the one we just paid 80,000 naira on. So let's assume, so you can see it's already saying partial payment has been made already. So if they pay the remaining 100,000, I mean the remaining 20,000, will have to come to this add payment to add it manually. But first, let's see the ones they have paid by going to view details. So payments, here we have the record of the one they have paid 80,000 already. Now they are paying the remaining 20,000 manually, so we come to add payments and we fill in the amount they transferred manually to the school, so which is 20,000 naira in this case. Then okay, so we've added the payment, and this should now, we should have a record of this parent making two payments on that fee now. So 80,000 naira and 20,000 naira. So if I go back to the invoice, of course, even the one we entered manually will be reflected in here. So if I say view invoice again, so now I have a payment of 80,000, another payment of 20,000 naira. So this payment is completed, and they can view their receipt in here, after which they can also print it out as a proof of payment. Then on the school part, once as we are collecting this fee, we are keeping a record of all the school income in the income tab in here. So a list of every payment the school has received is listed in here. As well as that, if you go back to the dashboard of the school here, if I do a refresh, I'm going to see the total payment, the total income the school has made for the month as 100,000 naira. So we keep keeping the record for the school. Then as well as that, all these invoices we have created for each parent is also made available on the parent's mobile app, so that when they log into their app, they can actually just see the invoice in there and make the necessary payment. As well as that, the school can choose to send a link to the invoice to the parents, so by simply copying the link in here and sending it to the parents, so to come back and make the payment on it. Thank you.